皆さん、お稽古お疲れ様です and welcome back to Beyond the Dojo. So, guys, as I explained to you guys last time, yes, the exams are now finished. Thank you so much and great job to all of you who participated. So, in the Asayama Ichiden-ryu's online lessons, we hold dawn promotion exams. So basically, I'm so sorry to repeat myself. Maybe this might be the very first podcast that someone is listening to, so I'm gonna re-explain everything. If you know about this, I'm really sorry. You can skip a few seconds or something. Yeah, but anyways, so Asayama Ichiden-ryu Hyoho, the Kobudo that I train in, the 400 years of history of Kobudo, has two dawn rank systems. One is the online and one is the in-person. In-person dawn promotion exams focuses on kenjutsu, and the online focuses on iaijutsu because most online lesson members are training on their own, right? Yeah, and we hold the exams 2 times a year in March and also in September. So this month, the March exam was held, and now it's over. It was from the 13th to the 16th, and just about an hour and a half ago, the last exam on my Monday class just finished. Okay, so once again, guys, thank you so much for participating and great job. I'm sure when all the things that you already had in mind, you thought you understood, or you maybe made mistakes that you've never made before, when it comes to those kind of situations when you have to do the techniques correctly, and the sensei's watching you, it's going to be recorded, you're going to be tested, and everyone's watching you. I'm sure even if you're doing it on your own in your own house, in your own country, in your own place, it's still very nerve-wracking, I bet. So I think that's a really good experience. Understanding that a lot of things that you thought you understand, when it comes to those kind of situations, you suddenly can't do anymore. And when it comes to those situations, if you can't suddenly do it, it means you haven't actually achieved the techniques yet. Okay, so I think it's really important that we have these kind of experiences once in a while to remind ourselves that we haven't practiced enough. Okay. And before I go a little bit more into today's main topic, by the way, I wanted to share one thing I was really happy that Seki Sensei said. So in Seki Sensei's online lessons too, of course, we held the online dawn promotion exams, and for the first time, we held the 4th dawn exam too, by the way, which was very, very exciting and scary at the same time because I'm going to be taking the 4th dawn exam this month myself. Yeah, but so for Seki Sensei's class, only 2 people took the 1st dawn exam, only 1 person took the 2nd dawn exam, and then 7 people took the 3rd dawn exam, and 7 people took the 4th dawn exam on Sunday. And of course, more people took it on Saturday too, but only probably like 5 or so people took the first dawn, I think. And the 2nd dawn too, probably less than 10 people took it. And Seki Sensei, when he found out about that, he was like, this is what tends to happen to most dojos. So there's less and less beginners, and there's more and more seniors, basically. And he was saying that. But I told him, or Kurosawa Sensei, actually, one of the Shihandai instructors, he was saying to Seki Sensei right before the exam started, he said, but there's actually a lot of people taking the 1st dawn exam in Shogo's online lessons. And when Seki Sensei heard that, he seemed very happy. Yeah, this is exactly how a dojo's organization community is supposed to work. So the headmaster is focusing on teaching the seniors, and the senior instructors are teaching the beginners. This is a very healthy system. Yeah, he was saying. I was really proud of myself, and I was really proud of everyone, all of the members who are taking my online lessons, that we were able to make Seki Sensei happy about this new system that we created from this year. It's only been 2 full months, 2.5 months since we started my online lessons, but Seki Sensei already said he's very happy that the system was working well, and that 11 people from my online lessons took the 1st dawn exam. So I just wanted to first of all share with you guys that Seki Sensei was very happy, and I was very, very happy too, and I hope you are happy as well hearing this. Okay. Now, with that said, preparing for maybe the next opportunity when you have to perform your techniques in front of people, or just to simply have a deeper understanding of Budo, and maybe helping you to pass the next dawn promotion exam, there's one really important teaching from Seki Sensei that I always keep in heart, and that is, you draw your katana with your heart. Okay, in Japanese we say, he said, katana wa kimochi de nuke. Now this kimochi can be translated into many things. It could be feelings, it could be your heart, it could be your soul, it could mean a lot of things. So it's totally up to you how to understand it, the nuances and such. But he told us this katana wa kimochi de nuke. Yeah, draw the katana with your heart. I think draw your katana with your heart is probably the closest translation, so I'll go with that. But I think he taught this to us probably a few times in the past and during the online lessons, and I think this is a very important concept that we need to always remember to continue practicing. So nowadays, when it comes to EI techniques, if you focus on EI techniques, there's a lot of people who think that if they do a technique correctly, that is the goal of your training. You know, there's a lot of modern styles where, for example, okay, this draw attack needs to be at this angle with your right hand at this position, and it needs to be 1 second or 2 seconds after you do this attack, then you do this attack, kind of thing. Everything is completely decided, basically, and the more you move like a robot, basically, the more you are valued and more you score, kind of thing. But Seki Sensei that is not how traditionally Iai-jutsu, Iai techniques was about, because being able to control the atmosphere of the fight, you know, being able to control the rhythm of the fight is the person who wins. So Sensei always says, accuracy, accurate Iai is a very strange combination. Trying to perform an Iai technique accurately is a huge contradiction, because if you do something accurately, it's not natural. And if it's not natural, it's not smooth. If it's not smooth, it doesn't work. Okay? So nowadays, a lot of people tend to seek accurate EI. But in an actual fight, an accurate EI doesn't make any sense, because it could be anything. It could be, let's take, for example, boxing or wrestling or anything. If you do a technique accurately, are you going to win? No, you change the technique accordingly. You mix all of your techniques that you have inside your body, all of the training that you've done together, and you make it a part of yourself, and you use that at the right timing that's difficult for the opponent to dodge, for example, and so on and so forth, right? So being able to do the techniques accurately is not the goal of iaijutsu. Now, what we need to understand here is that, of course, there are a lot of important elements of each technique that you have to do correctly. Okay? Like, for example, when you draw your katana, you don't want to use your right hand too much. You want to remove the scabbard rather than pull the katana out. When you move forward from here, for example, you want the tip of the katana left toward the opponent so you can pressure them back and then swing from there. When you swing the katana, you want to leave the katana flat and not tip lower, so on and so forth. There are a lot of rules, of course, and correct ways of doing a technique, right? Now, that is important. Okay? Of course, that is the fundamental techniques of a kata. So if you ignore those, then you're not doing iaijutsu in the first place. So you can't ignore that either. But in the end, though, it's about your heart. Okay, you don't draw the katana with your head. Okay, it's something that you do. Sensei taught this to us before as well. But the ultimate Iai technique is both you and the opponent didn't know what just happened. Okay, both the opponent and you, what just happened, and you won, is the ideal iaijutsu. That leads to today's teaching I want to share with you guys from Seki Sensei. Draw your katana with your heart. Okay, if you're using your head, okay, I need to do this, and then I move this afterwards, and all that kind of stuff, then that Iai technique is not a part of you. The katana is not a part of your body. It's not an extension of your body yet. You have not trained enough. Okay, so the exam ultimately maybe was like this for all of you, but if it is like, oh my gosh, I just took the exam but I don't remember anything, yeah, but if you perform very well, that is good EI. Okay, maybe it wasn't exactly the way, you know, Seki Sensei or the instructors have taught you. Maybe the rhythm was a little bit different, for example. That's totally fine. That was you in that moment and you performed it that way. Okay, so that's totally fine. You drew with your heart, and it changed into that kind of situation, especially if you're training with a partner. It's not going to be 100% the same all the time. We're not robots, right? Maybe the partner you're training with at that point, maybe they will run faster than the partner you were training before. Yeah, maybe they're taller, maybe they're shorter. Then you have to adjust the techniques accordingly, right? So it's totally natural that the rhythm might be a little bit different depending on who you train with and where you train. And so on. So maybe it's really windy, for example. If you're going to be performing outside, it's really windy, it's really difficult to move a certain way. Maybe the ground is not in a very good condition. You might slip a little bit, still make it work. Okay, so this is then something really important that I think we all need to keep in mind, and when we prepare for the next exam, for the next embu, whenever we have an opportunity to perform in front of other people, that ultimately you have to draw with your heart. You empty your mind and let your body and heart do what it can. And if you can't trust your heart and your body enough, then you haven't trained enough. Okay? Empty your mind. Yes. You cannot be thinking and moving. That's too late. Okay? Iai techniques are always situations where the opponent tries to attack you first and you react later. If you are thinking about, okay, I need to pull my side back bar, I need to keep my right hand softer, then you're definitely not going to be able to make it. Okay? So today's really important teaching from Seki Sensei that I want to share with you is, again, as I repeated many times today, draw the katana with your heart. Okay? So when you take the exam today, and if you don't remember anything, but if your sensei still tell you did a great job, then you're on the right track. Okay? All right then, guys, thank you so much. So the next exam will be held in September, and on the training camp. Yeah, the training camp, Negishiryu and Asayama Ichiden-ryu's Shuriken techniques training camp will be held on the last week of August. And then the week after that, 1, 2, 3, September 1st, 2nd, 3rd, will be the Asayama Ichiden-ryu training camp. And the week after that will be the extra seminars. So probably the next exam will be the last week of September. For those of you taking the Asayama Ichiden-ryu online lessons, the last week of September will probably be when we will be doing the next exam. So I really hope you can look forward to it. If you're going to be taking, for example, a second dan or third dan or above, there's going to be 15, I believe, 15 designated kata for the second dan exam. For the third dan exam, there will be 26 katas that will be assigned to you, which means we only can usually practice one kata. At least my online lesson, we can only practice one kata per week. Okay, that means to be able to do all 15 katas, it takes 15 weeks. Okay, that's almost about 4 months, right? Yeah, and we only have 6 months before the next exam, so we need to do a lot of practicing. Please go back and watch the archives. There's plenty of videos on Let's Ask Seki Sensei, our YouTube channel, where we've shared these techniques before. Please rewatch them over and over and over. Yeah, and to be able to draw with your heart, you have to have the right image inside your mind, the right rhythm, the right ma, the right distance. Okay, all of these you have to have the right image inside your mind. Watch Seki Sensei's videos hundreds, thousands, 10,000s of times. I still do that every single day. Every day it's my routine to do a little bit of exercise as I watch Seki Sensei's video. Okay. In the end, everything cannot be explained with words. I talked about this in previous podcasts too, but only about maybe less than half of what's important in each technique can be explained with words. Everything else, you gotta watch your sensei do it. Okay? You gotta watch your sensei do it. What rhythm is he doing? What kind of movement is he? What kind of shape is his body in? Kind of thing. Okay? Then, when you're performing it yourself, you need to feel like, okay, I'm definitely doing something wrong because Seki Sensei's rhythm was not like this. I should be hearing the sound of the sword swinging by now, kind of thing. Okay? If you repeatedly watch Seki Sensei's video, for example, you close your eyes and you listen to the sound of the blade being swung. You listen to the sound of his knee, for example, being dragged along the floor when he's doing a seated technique. You listen to the sound of the hakama, moving when he turns his body around. You'll be able to guess which kata it is if you repeatedly watch his techniques. Just by listening to the movements, the rhythm of the technique, you'll be like, okay, he's definitely practicing this kata. That's really important because when you practice, you want to practice so that you can match that rhythm, right? Of course, you're not trying to rush. You gotta do everything correctly at the same time, but you can move toward there. You know what you need to be aiming towards, okay? If you don't have the correct image inside your mind, it's impossible to get there, right? Yeah, so please rewatch your sensei's videos hundreds and thousands of times. I recommend you doing it every day, which is exactly what I do. Okay, so please do your best, and I will always be here for all of you. If you have any questions, if you want any feedback on your videos, if you need any checks during the classes, I will do everything I can for the Asayama Ichiden communities so we can achieve the 100 members of the Kyoto Dojo, the 7,000 members of Asayama Ichiden as a whole to bring back the golden age of our style. I'm willing to do everything I can to help everyone out, and also ultimately, the whole purpose of doing this is for us to enjoy the training. Okay? The reason why we want to carry down Asayama Ichiden-ryu is because it's so much fun, right? So we, the ones who are carrying down Asayama Ichiden-ryu, have to be the ones who are having fun when we train. So I will try to do my best, everything I can, for everyone to be able to enjoy the process and our journey to of training Budo. Okay? Alright then, guys, thank you so much. I will talk to you again in the next episode. Thank you so much and great job again for those of you who took the exam.